The latest dispatches from Montecito suggest a rather ambitious new chapter for the Duchess of Sussex. No longer content with podcast deals and Netflix documentaries, Meghan Markle is reportedly setting her sights on a far more tangible empire, one built of brick, mortar and impeccable thread counts. The whispers speak of a foray into the hospitality industry, with luxury hotels and exclusive restaurants bearing her carefully curated brand. This is not merely a celebrity endorsement, it is a calculated pivot towards becoming a lifestyle mogul in the vein of Martha Stewart or Gwyneth Paltrow, but with the added, incandescent complication of a royal title. It is a move that signals a desire to transcend the ephemeral world of media content and build something lasting, something one can touch, taste, and, for the right price, inhabit. This venture is, at its core, an extension of the Sussex brand itself, a brand meticulously crafted around ideals of wellness, conscious living, and a certain California-inflected elegance. One can already envision the aesthetic muted earth tones, locally sourced menus, artisanal ceramics, and a pervasive sense of serene yet fiendishly expensive comfort. Meghan's previous lifestyle blog, Fatigue, was a testing ground for this very concept, a digital mood board for the life she aspired to live and sell. Now she seeks to transform that digital dream into a physical reality, offering patrons not just a meal or a night's stay, but a chance to immerse themselves in the world of Meghan Markle. It is the ultimate influencer play, monetizing an aspirational identity on a grand, architectural scale. The timing of this pivot is hardly accidental. With the initial flurry of post-royal media ventures having settled, the need for a more stable, long-term revenue stream becomes paramount. The hotel and restaurant business, while notoriously difficult, offers the allure of high-margin, high-prestige assets. For a figure whose public life has been defined by a struggle for control over her own narrative, owning the physical spaces where that narrative is consumed is a powerful move. It allows her to be the ultimate arbiter of taste and experience, creating a controlled environment where the Sussex values can be expressed without the filter of a critical press or the constraints of palace protocol. It is, in essence, the creation of a private kingdom. This strategic expansion into hospitality speaks volumes about Meghan's understanding of modern celebrity. She recognizes that the currency of fame is no longer just about being seen, but about being experienced. The modern icon does not simply grace magazine covers. She sells you the moisturizer she uses, the candle that scents her home, and now perhaps the very bed you sleep in. This is a transition from being a personality to being a purveyor. For Meghan, this move is a declaration of intent. She is not merely a duchess in exile, but a formidable businesswoman ready to compete in the cutthroat world of luxury lifestyle, leveraging her unique global platform to build an empire on her own terms. The path from red carpet to corner office is an increasingly well-trodden one. Celebrities have long understood that their name is a brand, a valuable piece of intellectual property that can be licensed and leveraged. What we are witnessing with Meghan, however, is part of a more ambitious evolution, the celebrity as the founder and driving force of a company. It's a model perfected by figures like Gwyneth Paltrow, whose Goop empire began as a newsletter and metastasized into a wellness juggernaut encompassing products, events, and media. The formula is simple yet potent. Cultivate a dedicated following, establish authority in a specific lifestyle niche, and then methodically roll out products and experiences that allow followers to buy into that lifestyle. Meghan arrives in this arena with a distinct, almost unfair advantage. Her fame is not merely that of an actress, it is fused with the mystique and global recognition of the British monarchy. This provides an unparalleled level of initial marketing and public curiosity. A hotel opened by a former Hollywood star is interesting. A hotel opened by a duchess is an event. This royal connection, however fraught, imbues her brand with a veneer of tradition, quality, and high society polish that other celebrity entrepreneurs can only dream of. She can harness the glamour of her past life while simultaneously positioning her ventures as a modern, forward-thinking alternative to the stuffy institutions she left behind. Consider the case of Robert De Niro, who co-founded the Nobu restaurant and hotel empire. now a global benchmark for celebrity-driven hospitality success. De Niro lent his cool, discerning persona and financial backing to a talented chef, creating a brand that felt both exclusive and effortlessly stylish. Similarly, Francis Ford Coppola has successfully translated his cinematic vision into a collection of luxury boutique hotels, each a reflection of his personal taste and passion for hospitality. These ventures succeeded because they were authentic extensions of their founders' identities, not just cynical cash grabs. They offered a genuine, high-quality product that could stand on its own, with the celebrity connection serving as a powerful initial draw rather than the sole attraction. For Meghan to succeed, she must follow this blueprint of authenticity. Her hotels cannot simply be generic luxury establishments with her name slapped on the door. They must be a genuine embodiment of the values she espouses. Every detail, from the sustainability of the supply chain to the diversity of the staff, will be scrutinized through the lens of her public persona. The menu must be more than just delicious, it must be conscious. The decor must be more than just beautiful, it must be mindful. The entire enterprise will function as a physical manifestation of her personal brand, and any perceived hypocrisy or disconnect between the promise and the reality will be ruthlessly exposed. Entering the hospitality business is a high-stakes gamble for any entrepreneur. But for a celebrity of Meghan's stature, the risks are magnified tenfold. A restaurant can be sunk by a few bad reviews. A celebrity-owned restaurant can be sunk by a media narrative. Every disgruntled guest, every service mishap, every lukewarm dish becomes not just a business problem, but a public relations crisis. The very fame that provides the initial launchpad can become a heavy anchor, as critics and tabloids will be eagerly waiting for any sign of failure. The pressure to deliver perfection from day one will be immense, as there will be little room for the trial and error that most new businesses rely on to find their footing. Furthermore, the Duchess faces the unique challenge of managing the optics of luxury. How does a public figure who champions compassion and social justice reconcile that image with operating an exclusive, high-end business catering to the wealthy? This is a tightrope that many celebrities have fallen from. It is one thing to advocate for the underprivileged in a speech. It is another to charge thousands of dollars a night for a hotel suite. The potential for accusations of hypocrisy is vast. She will need to navigate this with extreme care, perhaps by integrating significant charitable components or social enterprises into her business model to preemptively counter such criticisms and prove her commitment is more than just branding. The history of celebrity ventures is littered with cautionary tales. Stars from Britney Spears to Ava Longoria have seen their forays into the restaurant world end in failure, often due to a lack of hands-on involvement or an underestimation of the industry's brutal operational demands. Hospitality is a notoriously complex business that requires constant attention to detail, from supply chain management to staff training to customer service. A famous name might get people in the door once, but only excellent quality and service will bring them back. Meghan cannot afford to be an absentee owner. She and her team will need to be deeply immersed in the day-to-day operations to ensure the execution matches the grand vision. Ultimately, the success or failure of this venture will have a profound impact on Meghan's public image and future trajectory. A thriving hospitality empire would cement her status as a savvy and influential businesswoman, proving she can build a legacy independent of both Hollywood and the royal family. It would be the ultimate vindication. However, a high-profile failure would be equally defining, providing ammunition for her detractors and reinforcing the narrative that she is better at generating headlines than building institutions. The stakes are not just financial, they are about the very definition of her post-royal identity. This is not just business, it's a battle for her legacy. In the final analysis, Meghan Markle's reported move into hotels and restaurants is arguably the most logical and potent step in her quest to build a self-sufficient empire. It represents a convergence of her past as a lifestyle influencer with her present as a global brand. Success will depend on her ability to translate the abstract ideals of the Sussex brand, wellness, authenticity, and modern elegance into a flawless, tangible customer experience. This requires more than just good taste, it demands operational excellence. She must hire a team of seasoned hospitality professionals who can execute her vision with military precision, as the slightest imperfection will be amplified by the global spotlight she commands. The greatest asset she possesses is her own story. People will flock to her establishments not just for the food or the decor, but for the chance to participate, however briefly, in the world she has built. This is a powerful, almost irresistible marketing tool. However, it is also her greatest vulnerability. The business must feel like a genuine extension of her personal values. If she champions sustainability, her hotels must be models of green architecture and practice. If she promotes inclusivity, her staff and clientele must reflect that diversity. Any disconnect will be perceived not as a business flaw, but as a personal failing, undermining the very foundation of the brand. To mitigate the risks, one could envision a slow, deliberate rollout, perhaps starting with a single flagship restaurant in a friendly location like Montecito or Los Angeles, allowing her team to perfect the model before expanding. This would be a place to test concepts, build a loyal following, and iron out the operational kinks away from the harshest glare of the international media. A successful first venture would create a powerful proof of concept, silencing critics and building momentum for a larger hotel project. Rushing into a multi-location launch without this foundational work would be a recipe for disaster, a classic case of ambition outpacing execution. Ultimately, this venture could redefine the modern celebrity business model. If successful, Meghan will have demonstrated how to convert cultural capital and personal narrative into a formidable brick-and-mortar business, creating a new blueprint for public figures seeking to build lasting legacies. It would move her beyond the realm of media personalities and into the category of visionary entrepreneurs. The journey will be fraught with peril, demanding a level of resilience and business acumen that few possess. But if anyone understands how to navigate the treacherous waters of public opinion and build a brand against all odds, it is the Duchess of Sussex. This is her chance to be the architect of her own kingdom.